It's time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We back. UFC 326. I'm heading to Vegas tomorrow. My flight's tomorrow. Excited for the fight week atmosphere. Excited to shoot content just like old times. I've been to Vegas a million times for these fight weeks, and it's always a fun time to see different people that I've met in the MMA community out there, MMA boxing, all the different communities. Combat sports is just so prevalent in Vegas. If you've never been to a fight week, I highly recommend it. If you're a YouTuber, a content creator, or anybody that does UFC related content, even if you can't afford to fight, I'm telling you, go out for the fight week, get your content, and then fly home and stream the fights. Go home, get your content. Vegas, I promise y'all, Vegas is not expensive. Get you a Caesars membership, get you a BetMGM membership. You get rewards, gamble a little bit, get your rewards, and then spend your rewards to get cheap hotels. I'm spending less than $200 to go to Vegas for the next 3 days, fly back, and still get my stream in and live watch the fights with you guys. Make sure y'all come to the stream on Saturday. With that being said, the card is exciting at the top. And this is a card where you really have to pray because it's not stacked top to bottom. It's definitely top heavy. This is a card where you pray that it stays intact. We have press conference tomorrow. We have the weigh-ins on Friday, and we just pray there are no pullouts. There's no weight misses. There's no shenanigans because one fight falls off this card, it just starts getting really rocky. This is one where if you lose the main event, you honestly might as well cancel the card. That's how top heavy it is. If you lose the main event, you might as well cancel the whole damn card. This is one of those. So, like I said, the main event is two of my favorite fighters of all time, two of the biggest fan favorites of all time, especially in this current era. Two of the best stories in the fight game. Can't pass it up. But why am I on my own screen? If they lose the main event, it would get very rocky. So let's stay in. Two professionals. I know they will. So we got Max Holloway, Charles Oliveira, Caio Borralho, and RDR, Rainer de Ritter. Rob Font, Raul Rosas Jr. This should be a fun fight. The old versus the new. The old guard versus the young guns. That should be fun. Drew Dober, Michael Johnson, another. Drew Dober is not the youngest, but he's definitely in the younger era than Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson's like the OGs. That's most of his era is not even in the sport anymore. Drew Dober is in that era where most of the guys are still around, but they're kind of rounding that final turn of their careers, mid-30s. Johnson is rounding around 40s. So this is extra old versus a little bit old, but two guys that bring exciting fights and knockouts every time. And then we got Gregory Rodriguez versus Bruno Ferreira, which is a rematch of a fight that happened a couple years ago. Two guys that probably will never wear belts, but always show up and bang it out. So it should be fun. We got Cody Garbrandt, one of the biggest what-ifs in MMA history. One of the biggest highs coming into the UFC. And then his career since has just been so confusing. And then after that, it gets a lot rocky. It gets very rocky, guys. I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm a big fan of Sumadarji. I liked watching him last year at the UFC Miami card. I had fun watching him in person, but dude, it is slim pickings. Gaston Bolaños, some of the best striking in the MMA, in all MMA. When you watch him on the pads, you watch his Instagram, it's like, damn, this dude is like the best striker I've seen in a long time. But it just never has translated to UFC success. He has some crazy viral knockouts from his days in Bellator, but he just hasn't been able to put his full game together in the UFC yet. So a lot of fun fights throughout the card. Not the most stacked, but I'm sure that we'll have some good, exciting moments and some knockouts. The ones that you sleep on are the ones that end up having the most excitement. So I'm very excited. But as far as predictions, we're going to start from the top. Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira. I'm going to be very honest, guys. The odds are, we got the odds pulled up. The odds are Max Holloway minus 230, Charles Oliveira plus 175. Not going to lie, despite the fanfare, despite the fact that he was a champion very recently, the fact that he's been at the top of that division these last couple years, I kind of agree with those odds, man. I just feel like Charles Oliveira, yes, he's a different Charles Oliveira from the first fight, but his style is almost tailor made for Max. His style is almost tailor made for Max. Max has some of the best defensive wrestling in the game. Charles is not no dynamite wrestler that's gonna, shoot a takedown and take him down. Anyway, he ends up on the ground and submitting guys a lot of times through scrambles, a lot of time through wild exchanges, and that is not really something. Max will get wild, but it's not really something where he's falling over himself like Gaethje was in that fight. He's overthrowing and letting Charles get on his back. We've never seen stuff like that happen with Max. He's just too polished of a striker. I think in the striking game, which I think most of this fight will be taking place, Max is just sharper everywhere. He's more dynamic with the kicks, with Charles has exciting boxing and loves to come forward. Max has exciting boxing and loves to come forward. Max also has had one punch KO power at 155. Max also is just as good in both stances. Max also has a better kicking game than Charles. Max also has one of the greatest chins of all time. Max also has one of the best jabs in all of MMA. He's faster. Charles has definitely hurt some people. We saw the way that he put down Justin Gaethje with strikes. We saw the way that when he was on his tear, how he was able to hurt people on the feet. But the 155 version we've seen of Max may have just as much power or maybe more power than Charles. The way that he was dropping Justin Gaethje, the way that he was dropping Dustin Poirier left and right, it's just hard for me to see how Charles wins this fight. By submission, have we seen Max really in a compromised position in the grappling with anybody of late? Anybody been able to take him down? It's just, I just don't see it. I just don't see Charles's path. I really don't. You think he's going to knock Max out? You think if they go tit for tat for 5 rounds on a feet, that Charles wins that? I just think Max is more dynamic almost everywhere. And I think Max gets it done. I think a lot of people are banking on, a finish or a crazy wild brawl where somebody gets finished early. But I actually think this fight goes over. Whatever the over-under is, I think it's probably either 2.5 or 3.5 on this fight. I think it actually goes over, and I think Max will win a dominant decision or maybe a late stoppage in the 4th or 5th round. But I think it does go the distance, into the championship rounds at least, because Charles is tough. We know, we saw what Ilya was able to do to him, but he's not like some dude that just goes down without a fight on most occasions. I'm going to lean towards Max, and I'm going to say probably Max Holloway by decision or Max by a finish in the championship 4th or 5th round in this fight. I think it's going to be dominant. I think Charles wins maybe 1 round max. Then we move down the card. It gets a little slim pickings, guys. Kyle Barhalio, I hate saying that name. It's so, I don't know. It's just, it irks me. And then Rainier de Ritter. 2 names that everybody says different. But I am excited for this fight. I think this fight will be very fun. And I think the odds are sleeping on RDR. Even if you think Kyle Barhalio should win this fight, I think minus 298 is a little bit disrespectful to what we've seen out of both of these guys. RDR was on an absolute tear, running through the division. Everyone was saying that he could be the one to beat Hamzat. He could be the one to be the next champ. He could be the next, big thing in MMA. And then he has one loss where he was doing very well that first round. Then he gasses. He's doing very well, and then he gasses. Tires out, and basically gives it up right there. That is something that can be prevented. That's not like he showed how bad of a fighter he was in that fight. He gassed out, he got tired, and he lost. He couldn't go any further. That's not something that can't be fixed. And I think skill for skill, RDR is a very, very dangerous guy everywhere. He was finishing people. I'm not going to lie, for these odds, plus 240 RDR, minus 298 Kaio, I'm going RDR for that money. Straight up, like if you're just picking who's going to win, I'd probably still go RDR. I'll be honest. I'm going RDR. Kaio's very tough, so I'd say maybe RDR by decision or maybe submission, but plus 240 odds is just a little too tasty for my liking. Give me Renier de Ritter. Rob Font versus Raul Rosas. I'm not going to lie, Rob Font has been a godsend for me when it comes to bets. My dude has won me some damn money. That Adrian Yanez fight where he was the underdog, I put so much money on him and won. I had a feeling, man. I said, y'all sleeping on Rob Font, man. This dude has fought the best of the best. He has one of the best boxing games, straight up boxing games in all of MMA. One of the best jabs. And he's just a hard guy to hurt, finish, and look good against. And I've never been sold on Raul Rosas, man. And we got plus 180 odds on Rob Font. Another one that I maybe would throw a flyer on here. I do think Rob Font is getting a little older. And Raul Rosas actually should win this fight. But stylistically, I think that Rob Font is just the guy that it's hard to look good against. And if Raul Rosas, I think you're going to be able to tell who's going to win this fight very quickly. If Rosas is shooting for takedowns and getting in the clinch and trying to get his hands on Rob Font and has a very, very hard time in the first round, I think I'm going to be able to know by that first round if Rob Font's going to be able to pull it off or not. If Rosas scores 0 takedowns in the first round, I think Rob Font wins. If Rosas comes out first, out of the gate, and he's able to get his hands on Rob Font, he's able to, cut the cage off and engage Rob Font in these grappling exchanges, I think Rosas wins. But I think that first round is going to be very telling. I think Raul Rosas should be winning this fight. Youth is on his side, but I would not be surprised if Rob Font pulled it off. First round is going to tell you everything you need to know, but I'm going to say Rosas pulls it off. The youth is on his side. Drew Dober versus Michael Johnson. Who the hell knows, bro? They're just going to throw. Someone's going to get knocked out. Fuck it. Give me Michael Johnson, bro. Give me Michael Johnson. Give me the old man, Michael Johnson. He's actually the favorite. Wow. Actually, you know what? Give me Drew Dober. Because whenever Michael Johnson is favored, he loses. He beats people that he's never supposed to beat in his life. He beat Tony Ferguson, beat Dustin Poirier when no one expects him to beat them. But when he's favored, he'll get knocked out by some homeless guy. So, not saying Drew Dober is that, but Michael Johnson being a favorite, I don't like it. Give me Drew Dober. Give me Drew Dober. And then give me Gregory Rodriguez. RoboCop getting revenge on Bruno Ferreira. Cody Garbrandt, my God. My God. I'm not even going to go into much detail with this fight, but God, I hope he wins. For his own sake, because this might be it. We might see Cody Garbrandt in BKFC if he loses this fight. We could see him in BKFC fighting against, well, not TJ Dillashaw. TJ's done. He had too much shoulder issues, but he could very well be in BKFC. He could very well be in influencer boxing, fucking knocking out Dean the Great or something in the next couple years if he can't get this done. Rooting for Cody Garbrandt here. He's in the underdog, but give me Cody Garbrandt. Give me Cody Brundage getting knocked the fuck out. Dante Johnson here. This dude just got knocked out like a month and a half ago, and he's already back. Give me Dante Johnson. Give me Tercios. I enjoyed watching him on The Ultimate Fighter. And then give me this motherfucker who I can't say his name because who gives a shit about. We got 3 Codys on the prelims. This Cody, I hope, wins. This Cody's going to get knocked out. This Cody will probably lose. I don't really care. Sumadarji, I like Sumadarji. Give me Sumadarji. Give me the Kazakh. Give me Gaston Bolaños because I love his striking. And then give me this. I don't even give a fuck about this one. I remember watching. I remember watching Adolfo. I remember watching him. Sick tattoos also. He's like a HGH version of Sean Brady. Not the way he fights. I'm just saying how he looks. So give me that. Give me what's the Pokemon Charizard, the big version? It's Charmander, Charizard. Yeah, give me the Charizard version of Sean Brady. This video is going off the rails. But yeah, guys. I am excited. I'll be in Vegas tomorrow. If you're gonna be in town for the fight, say hello. Say what's up. I'll be at the press conference. I'll be at the weigh-ins. I'll be shooting content. Fuck, if you see me, maybe I can get you in a prediction video. Get your prediction. Get it posted. Get your predictions out there, guys. I love talking to people. Not really, sometimes, but when I'm at fight weeks, I like talking to people. So yeah, give me Max Holloway. Should be a fun week. Should be a fun fight. Let's go. Outside of that, let's check X because there is some news, guys.